యూనివర్సిటీ మంచి భవిష్యత్తు కోసం తెలుగు విద్యార్థులు ఇష్టపడే యూనివర్సిటీ. కాల్ 9059052378 9059052379.
What's your character? Are you a ghost or a normal person in this movie?
Do you think that's a smart question to ask me?
No combination with Samantha?
No, with her we don't have a combination.
Okay, we got you.
One little thing I give you.
Dialogue from this movie?
I do, but I will not be able to use it.
No, it's not secret, yeah. So, like your anchoring also.
Really?
I copied 2 questions I will ask you.
Shoot.
You are anchoring with Misty for Columbus.
Of course, yeah.
Do you have boyfriends?
How do I have boyfriends? Let's start with one. No, I don't have a single boyfriend, so let alone boyfriends. I have a lot of male friends, yes.
Tell me your character name at least. In this
Cannot
movie.
tell you my
Oh,
character name.
even.
Lucky. See, that's smart.
So Seerat Kapoor means you are related to any Bollywood Kapoor?
A generation of my own. I'll probably be the first Kapoor and an outside Kapoor. Like,
So you like most Tollywood or you want to shift to Bollywood also?
I love Tollywood. I think I found my identity because of this industry, and I will never forget that.
హాయ్, మీరు చూస్తున్నారు టాకింగ్ మూవీస్ విత్ iDream. నేను బాగి. సో హర్రర్ సినిమాలు, థ్రిల్లర్ సినిమాలు వస్తున్నాయంటే ప్రేక్షకుల ఎక్స్పెక్టేషన్స్ ఎప్పుడు వస్తుందని క్యూరియాసిటీ చాలా ఉంటుంది. సో నౌ రాజు గారి గది 2 వస్తుంది. సో వీ హ్యావ్ వెరీ బ్యూటిఫుల్ యాక్ట్రెస్ సీరత్ కపూర్, రాజు గారి గది 2 యాక్ట్రెస్ ఉన్నారు ఇక్కడ. హాయ్.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very well. How are you?
ఐ థింక్ యూ ట్రైడ్ విత్ కంటిన్యూస్ ఇంటర్వ్యూస్.
Never tired for work. That's that should be my tagline actually.
ఓకే, సో వర్క్లో ఎప్పుడు మనం అలసిపోకూడదు.
Yes.
సో ఎలా ఉంది రాజు గారి గది 2 ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్?
Honestly, one of the most comfortable experiences I've had on set so far. I think the team is very sensitive towards the actors, and I don't feel at any point I felt rushed, in terms of my performance or what was expected of me. Everything kind of was very patient, and I think that speaks volumes of Anand as a director. It makes a lot of difference when you're working with somebody who kind of gives you the leeway to also improvise and do certain things that you would probably perceive the character to enact. And fortunately he's always had that trust in me, as an actor. So I've been very lucky, honestly, to be a part of this film.
So actually I can't ask more questions because it's a thriller, so
Right,
we can't reveal the suspense.
Of course not.
So ఎక్కువ అడగలేం. But what's your character? Are you a ghost or a normal person in this movie?
Do you think that's a smart question to ask me? That for the 13th of, it's actually a very interesting date, no? 13th is considered a odd number, and it's releasing. But I mean, let's be fair to the makers who have spent so much time and energy to kind of make a story for y'all. But you'll know in 2 days.
Okay, so say like this: Priya, Neeraja, Ganga. Now, what is the difference between the
Those
3 characters and now?
See, Ganga and Neeru. Ganga was more traditional in the way she carried herself. She came from Varanasi. Neeru was still a little more with the West culture, but still a little Indo-Western sometimes in the way she would carry herself. Run Raja Run, however, was entirely westernized. There is still a great difference though, because in Run Raja Run and in Raju Gari Gadi 2, there's a diversity in the girl next door carriage that she has, and that doesn't exist so much in Raju Gari Gadi 2. However, when she speaks and when you start listening to her, she comes across as very relatable as a person. So I think it's quite a contrast with the way she looks and the way she carries herself and the way, you know, she speaks to you. That's when you kind of warm into her, and she's a very lively character, you know, to have around. There's always something happening in her presence. So let's leave the suspense to that.
ఓకే లైక్ an audience మీరు
Right.
చూస్తారా థ్రిల్లర్స్ అండ్
I
సస్పెన్స్?
honestly love all types of genres. I'm not somebody who particularly only celebrates one. I love watching thriller films as well. I think it's like when you get onto a roller coaster ride, you know you're going to get scared, but you still want to do it because you're going to get scared. It's one of those experiences, and see, to be watching it from an audience point of view is very different to be you know, in the scene and actually enacting it. Having said that, I feel even after performing these sequences, when I see it, when the final product is in front of me, after the RR and the BGM and everything kind of comes together, if that sequence has still made you surprised, then you know that there's some magic that has happened there. And that's what happened when I sat through the dubbing of Raju Gari Gadi 2. You know, these were scenes that I knew what I was doing. I know there's nothing that has happened in front of me that I haven't seen before. Yet I was glued, you know, because I saw the chemistry falling into place, whether it was with Nag sir and my scenes, or whether it was a combination with Kishore and my scenes, or the other, you know, actors, Ashwin, everybody, Praveen, all of us together.
అచ్చా యువర్ కాంబినేషన్ విత్ నాగార్జున సార్,
Yes.
వెన్నెల కిషోర్ గారు,
Yes.
అశ్విన్.
Ashwin, Praveen, everyone.
నో కాంబినేషన్ విత్ సమంత.
No, with her we don't have a combination.
Okay, we got you.
One little thing I gave you. But I think as a story, you know, it's just something. I mean, as far as my character goes, she really blends in. You know, there's no introduction that really happens. She comes in and you're already with her. You know, and then she takes you through the journey of the film, and you're with her. So the first half of the film is literally on her shoulder. It's on her narrative, and it's very seamless in its way.
సో మీకు సబ్జెక్ట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు, సో వెన్ యూ గాట్ ది ఛాన్స్ లైక్ రాజు గారి గది టూ అని చెప్పినప్పుడు వాట్స్ యువర్ ఫీలింగ్స్? బికాజ్ ఇట్స్ ఎ థ్రిల్లర్ అండ్
like I said, you know, see, as an actor you want to try and be as versatile as you can be, and genres fortunately give you that ability. In a rom-com, you know the extent to which the story can go. Here, you know the kind of performance that is expected of you, and honestly, I mean, no genre is easy to play, but I feel to be able to be in a thriller is far more thoughtful. At least for me, I felt like, you know, I needed to think as to what and how I would carry myself in every scene, because there is a certain kind of a goosebump that you leave the audience with. You know, there's that constant connection, and you cannot fail to not have them impacted in any way, especially in a thriller, I feel. So there were a lot of nuances where I had to sit down and rethink mentally, you know, how to go about this. And it was a beautiful experience hence, because it's not a genre that I've worked on before, and to be able to be around people who are so experienced was honestly a boon. You know, to be working with Nag sir, who was there, you know, if he saw you do something, and he would always tell you, you know, maybe you could try this or that, and he's always said it at a distance. You know, he's not someone who's intrusive into your character. He's really somebody who comes in as an actor who does what he needs to do, and I've realized he responds very well to energy. So we could do the same take 2 or 3 times, but every time I would do it differently, and he would respond to my change there. So it was a great experience performing, you know, in collaboration with him and all the other actors, in fact.
యూ వాచ్ రాజు గారి గది?
I've seen only the scenes that I've been a part of so far. And they've come out so. See, as a person, I'm someone who's always finding and critiquing, you know, myself, or there's always something. My attention just goes there. That's not to say that I don't, you know, credit myself where I feel like I've done a great job or a good job, to be humble. But I think throughout the scenes, you know, like there was something captivating every time, and I wanted to watch the rushes on loop. That's what just 2 or 3 scenes of this film did to me. And then the teaser came into place, you know, the trailer cut, and it just seemed so larger than life. I remember sitting with Omkar and having these discussions about where he sees this film and the vision, and he would keep believing in himself without any doubt, you know, that he will create something which will take the audience by a storm. And I've actually seen him do that, you know, right from the first launch of our trailer. The kind of appreciation and love we've received is phenomenal. You know, the views just kept counting. So initially I shared a post of 1 million views, okay, 2 million views, and then it's carrying on and on. I said, okay, I can't have a flooded, you know, profile of the number of views, but that's really what it was. And it's really humbling to be a part of something as grand, you know, as this film is, and be appreciated through that, which was another very humbling experience I had with someone like Nag sir, with Samantha on board. There were actually people writing to me in whatever they saw of me in the trailer, and within the industry, you know, I've had, I remember Vamsi sir had called me. He has been my first producer to Run Raja Run. He saw the film and he has only nice things to say about the film, the performance, my character, and that is a conscious call. You don't have to do that, you know. He didn't have to do that, but he did that out of goodwill, and that only reassures you that there is something in this film which is so magnetic that it kind of makes the person who's seen it want to call you and just tell you that they had a great show. And I think if we can do that as creatives, there's nothing more that we really work for or aim for.
Tell me your character name at least in this movie.
Cannot tell you my
Oh,
character name
yeah.
at least. I can give you a hint.
Acha.
It starts with my first letter.
Oh, yes.
Starts with an S. That's lucky. See, that's smart. That's all you get.
ఎంటైర్ మూవీలో మీరు బాగా డిఫికల్ట్
See, honestly, for me, the difficulties come in on a daily basis. This is not to say that, you know, every day is heavily challenging, because yes, I have done 4 films now, and I am working on 3 others simultaneously as well. So when it comes to the language, I have kind of picked up vocabulary along the way, along my dialogues. I also, you know, keep storing them within me.
తెలుగు vocabulary.
Telugu vocabulary. I also take my dialogues in the language itself. So I have a English translation booklet with me, and I kind of understand how then to express that dialogue and then work on it if I have to layer it with many shades. So there's a lot of thought process there, which anyways requires you to make a conscious effort. So that's always there, but then when you actually get into the character, you get so sucked in, you know, if I may use that word, that you want to try and build from there, you know. And as an actor, I feel if that's the most there's the minimum most you should do, understand what you're saying, express it, because that's how I feel like you would stand out in you know, in a probably in a situation where you'd have another actor perform the same scene. Why would somebody want to do that scene with you? There must be something that you do differently, which is so unique to you, which kind of appeals to, you know, a third eye. So I aim to try and create that anyways. Is that challenging? Yes, because it doesn't happen naturally. You know, it requires you to sit and dig deep into, you know, the story, the character, not just what the director comes with, but also as an actor, there are certain things that you want to do where you feel satisfied of your own performance.
Exactly.
And I mean, that's with every actor. If I may say, it's on behalf of every performer. Everyone wants to do that, you know, take what the director's vision is to another level, and kind of make him or her, you know, feel surprised and kind of freeze. Those are the moments that I look for, and that definitely needs a lot of work. So yes, I think it would be very you know, superficial if I would just use a certain scene because it had a heavy dialogue, or because if it had a certain mood which needed me, you know, to prep a little more. These things I don't really consider a challenge. I think that just comes, it's part of the process. But the other thinking that you do, I mean, to kind of think, to be a thinking actor, is a conscious effort, and that is challenging every day. Whether you know your scene, you don't know the scene, you know the dialogue, it doesn't matter, because as human beings, we're so sensitive towards the environment. When we're shooting, you know, there are 10 other things happening around you, which can be distracting.
Yes.
Some things can even help you in your performance. Maybe that distraction is working in your favor because you know how to channelize it, and if it's an angry or a, you know, intense scene, then you kind of pick up from there and you respond in a more irritative fashion, for example. So to be spontaneous is another challenge, and it's a lot of fun once you understand how to work with these tools. As an actor, I feel then you really grow. You know, you're not just doing, because I feel like after a point there is always going to be a love story, there's always going to be a thriller. How are you enjoying your every day of working, doing those emotions? You know, are you layering your emotions differently? Are you thinking deeper? That's what drives me as an actor. So every day is challenging, and because it's challenging, it has me you know, attached more towards it.
You're doing great work for communication Telugu. So I think you remember any dialogue from this movie? This movie only.
I do, but I will not be able to use it.
No, it's not secret, yeah. So
No, I should refrain. There's a reason why I'm not saying a word even in the trailer. Let's wait 2 days, you'll hear me.
okay, so apart from this movies, before an actress, nice dancer, like a choreographer.
Yeah.
So why you chose acting? Is it interesting from childhood or
I
suddenly?
think not really. In fact, I've always believed that I never wanted to be an actor, not because I had anything against it, but it never fascinated me enough. And through my teenage, I was already involved with dancing. I was teaching and training with Ashley Lobo. I had also along the way assisted on the film Rockstar, which was directed by Imtiaz Ali. So my dance career was going very headstrong. But I also feel like as a person, I'm not someone who can just be satisfied by doing one thing in life. I've realized that about myself. It also comes in from the creative juices that run within my family. My mum is an air hostess, but she's very, very passionate about interiors. I have an older brother who is exceptionally talented as a, you know, artist. He's a graphic designer.
Okay.
My father had spent 25 to 24 years in the hotel industry, being the vice president of hotels like Oberoi, Renaissance, Intercontinental, etc. But after a point he realized, you know, at the tip of his career, that he wasn't feeling challenged enough, and life wasn't as exciting as it would be if he had to put his mind to how do I solve this. And he came back home one day and he said, I want to be an actor. And I remember my entire family laughed because they were like, oh, what is he saying? And the only person who really believed him back in the day was my mom, because she knew when he says something, there is thought to it. And he will make sure he will then ace it. Otherwise, he's not someone who can be happy in mediocrity. And so I think I come from those genes, and dance came to me very naturally. I remember from the time that I heard a tune, I was very little, and throughout all the weddings in the family, I'd be the little one dancing and never get tired. I'd pick up my grandparents and start dancing with them when everything's over. So I started my dance training because of my passion towards it, and where there's passion, you do excel. You know, with the ups and downs, you do learn when you're so attached and involved. Your eyes are constantly open and you're wanting to learn, and that hunger really takes you somewhere which you can't really fathom before you start onto that journey. And I've also been very interested in music as well, so I was training with Indian classical. My parents, you know, although I've always wanted to learn Western. As a kid, you know how we are, we rebel sometimes, we love the West culture and we're so influenced by them.
You're a singer also?
Yeah, I sing as
oh
well.
my god.
In fact, you'll hear me in one of the scenes in Raju Gari Gadi too. I did dub for one of the scenes, singing a very famous song. And acting came about at a point where, you know, a friend of mine who had similar hair, who used to be very well versed with the ad world, one day she fell sick and she said, Seerat, you know, would you want to go and just do this audition? I was young, I was 16, I was like, what might lose, you know, why not? And I walked into the audition. Now, so far my life was very aware of what are the highest and lowest kind of, you know, possibilities I would see at a workspace. I was working in a company, I knew who I would meet, I knew why I would be angry, I knew I would be happy. So you kind of get very used to that setup. And when you're spending so much time there, when you're suddenly put out in the outside world and you're just kind of on your own and you're expected to do something and do it on your own merit to then get hired on a job, there is a certain pressure. And I kind of was very observant to the whole atmosphere. So I remember models standing and introducing themselves and, hi, my name is so and so, my height is so and so, and holding the placard. And I was very amused at that time because so far up until now I would always see these people from an audience point of view, not really from backstage.
Yes, exactly.
And that got me more interested. And I mean, I didn't get that audition, of course, but I took back this experience which wowed me to want to learn more about it. And I've always felt like no matter what you do, it's one thing to kind of be instinctive and just be, you know, a jack of all trades. Another is to take out the time and the patience to study about the craft. I did that as an actor. I trained with Roshan Taneja School of Acting. He's also my second, grandfather, my cousin grandfather. So I was very fortunate that way, and I kept auditioning simultaneously, which is how somehow, you know, it really amazes me because from the time that I took a backseat from dance to the time I trained as an actor to my first film, Run Raja Run, everything happened within a month. And a month just passes like this. It's, you know, and you're constantly in it. But I really believe that, you know, there's a right time for everything, and things just fall into place. But what's important is to be aware and listen to your heart and listen to your gut, because that's the one thing that will keep guiding you. And somehow I think I like to thank my parents for that, because they've always been those people. They've always supported me and pushed me forward. I've never heard them say, oh, it's a creative field, focus on your education, although that was equally important. They gave equal importance to this side that me or my brother have, and I am here because of their support, you know, and the schooling that I've had at home also.
Fourth movie in Telugu, Tollywood.
This would be my fourth film, yes. Yeah.
Production, there are 3 more movies.
Three more
So
films,
I think
yes.
you are a busy actress now. So
Yes.
what's mom's feeling and the parents?
She's very happy, but I think I come from a background where even if I'm working with the biggest of stars, back home, they would still take a pause and they would take that time to tell me that don't let it get to your head, you know, make sure to understand that the reason this is happening to you right now is because there's also something you're doing correct on your end. Probably you're focusing more on your growth, you're grooming yourself, you're growing your mind is in the right direction, and hence you're attracting the bigger things. So every time I go back grabbing a project, or even if when I mentioned to mom about Nag, so she first schooled me into ensuring that, you know, I would take this as seriously as I did for my first film. And then maybe on the second day she would, you know, give me a pat and say, I'm proud of you, Seerat. And it's so yeah, I come from that space where your mindset and your hard work need to be aligned. And these things, you know, success and working with the biggest of people in the industry, they're all byproducts of the energy and the patience and the involvement you put into your craft today. That should never go. If that goes, everything will fall.
Seerat is a nice actress, a good dancer, and singer also. So, ma andar kosam, like your fans, any one line?
I've actually had gone live on Instagram, I think a while ago, and I did sing a song for them. Okay, so I'll sing one line of a Hindi song, since you can't know much about Raju Gari Gadi too. Deviating, Omkar, please forgive me. Okay, so Sajna bheja, Sajna bheja, Sajna bheja, Sajna जा, नहीं लगता तेरे बिना दिल मेरा, हाय नहीं लगता तेरे बिना दिल मेरा, नहीं लगता तेरे बिना दिल मेरा, हाय नहीं लगता तेरे बिना दिल मेरा, सजना भी जा, सजना आ भी जा.
Great. Seerat is a great home, multi-talented person.
Thank you, still working it up.
Okay, coming to Raj Gargadi too. So Taman music.
Yes.
Okay, about Taman music.
He is phenomenal. I think to have a great script is one, but then to elevate it and advance it to a different world altogether is something.
And this type of movie needs a good recording also.
This movie, actually any movie, you know,
Yes.
I think sound plays such an important role in the way people connect. I mean, music is something which is so vast. You could be of any religion, any culture, speak any language, but good sound will always connect, you know, more than one person together, and that's the language it speaks. You know, there's no barrier there.
Exactly.
Now for Taman to kind of create something every single time which is so diversely new, which is so larger than life, and also at the same time so true to what the film requires, speaks of great intellect and technique of his understanding and his craft. It's also something which is an ongoing thing. It's not something that you could have mastered or trained with and use that training 10 years or 5 years down, because things are changing. By the day, music is changing, you know, people are liking different things and you need to keep adapting to it. And he just, I mean, I've worked with him on Tiger as well. The sound there is so different, the sound here is so different, the genres are so different. Yet I was just appalled. I mean, I honestly, my ears just surrendered to the sound. That's what happened when I saw the first teaser, the first trailer cut of our film. So I think that honestly, for Taman to also create something, he must be a very evolved human being. You know, these things can't be explained. Your interaction with rhythm and breath is another world altogether. It's definitely a highlight of Raju Gari Gadi, and it's taken it to another league altogether, I would say, the sound.
So even PVP is one of the biggest production house,
Yes.
like UV production. You did your debut movie. That's the
Yes.
biggest. Again, like one of the biggest production you're working.
Right, yeah.
So about PVP qualities and their work.
Absolutely. I think the one great quality I've noticed, whether it's UV Creations or whether it's PVP, these producers do not compromise on quality. You know, after a point, yes, budgets are involved and everything, but I feel that when it comes to the time of go, if they feel there is a magic that they can create with just a little more, I think they are the ethos of mind who would go that mile and who would do it. I've had these discussions even with the UV Creations back in the day, because firstly for me that was my debut film, and the way I was treated was nothing less than a star, honestly. Right from where I was put up, to my nutrition, to the way, you know, I was dealt with. I never was made to feel like, you know, she's a beginner, let her first, let's see what she can make of herself, then we will treat her a certain way. So one, they're very warm as people, and two, they don't compromise on quality. And I think this is what in exchange you know, leads to a product like this, or Run Raja Run, which touches the masses instantly. Yeah.
Okay, so frankly, I'm saying I like your anchoring also.
Really?
I copied 2 questions. I will ask you.
Lovely. Shoot.
You are anchoring with Misty for Columbus.
Of course, yeah. That
Yeah.
was very impromptu, honestly. It was so okay, I'll try and say it in a very polite way, but you know, after a point, what your character is like.
Yeah, now I have 2 questions.
How is the production
do you have
house?
boyfriends?
how do I have boyfriends? Let's start with one. No, I don't have a single boyfriend, so let alone boyfriends. I have a lot of male friends, yes, but I'm single. From the time I knew what my passion was, I was in there, you know, like right from, I mean, I started training with dance when I was 15. By 16, I was already teaching.
Oh my God, teacher.
So, yeah. And I was not teaching people who were of my age group or under. The culture, you know, fortunately had me teach people who were of my mom's age, of, you know, older age group or a younger age group.
Okay.
So there were all age groups.
People call you as Seerat ma'am.
Not at all, not at all. In fact, if ever they did, I would tell them, I said, please don't do that. I'm as ma'am as you are. So if you're giving me that, then you must, you know. But no, it's a very, see, it's an exchange in the art form, you know. As long as people respect what you, when you talk to them in a classroom, and you can see it from their body language. Fortunately, all my students, if you all are watching, you know, you guys have always been so kind, and a little too kind sometimes, with their compliments and the way I could just see the look on their face every time I perform. These things can be very, very overwhelming, and I've been very blessed that way to be around such people, because I mean, after a point, everyone has their own life to go back to. You don't need to go all out to express and make someone feel as important. But I've had so many lives make me feel like that, and that's also part of who I've become. If I am sensitive today, it's because I've been around such beautiful human beings, and I've learned from that sensitivity to then pass it forward. So being a teacher, I always believe first comes from being a student, you know. You should always be a student of life, and being a teacher just becomes like a byproduct of that experience.
So Seerat Kapoor means you are related to any Bollywood Kapoors?
I am not, but I'm hoping to make you know, a generation of my own. I'll probably be the first Kapoor, an outside Kapoor, like, no, but there are so many more, and they're doing so well for themselves. My name means inner beauty. Seerat is character, it's inner beauty. So there's a saying, Surat ma dekho, Seerat dekho, and that's where it comes from.
That's great. Do you have any compliments especially on your hair? Because your hair is completely different.
Yes,
Tollywood,
yes.
you are the first Tollywood actors like this type of hair,
yeah,
right?
Yes, I receive a lot. I think my hair is a great, it's honestly my character. It is part of my character, I feel. Today, if people recognize me and they talk to me, the few things that they mention along with my name is my hair. You know, it's iconic to who I am, and that's how people write to me. It's quite flattering, because I didn't create that hairstyle. It is how it is, and it's whatever. It's genes and all of that together. But yeah, I love my hair too.
Do you have any dream roles, like you are a dancer, dance related roles? Or like
honestly, to just be working in a profession that you want to wake up to every day is a dream on its own. But if I have to be greedy, I would say I would love to be a part of a film where I can sing, dance and act all in one. And trust me, by the end of that film, I will still tell you another dream that I have. But one thing at a time, yeah.
Okay, so your upcoming projects
I'm shooting with V.I. Anand, Alu Sarish, Srinivas, Surbhi, we're all part of the film. There's also Touch Chesi Chudu with Ravi Teja sir, and there's Rana Dagubati's home production with Ravi Kant. These films are simultaneously being shot.
So you like most Tollywood, or you want to shift to Bollywood also?
I love Tollywood. I think I've found my identity because of this industry, and I will never forget that. I hope to grow, however, in various languages, be it Bollywood or be it Hollywood. I mean, there's no end. A good script would just, you know, attract any actor, I feel. But I would never stop working down south. This is home for me.
Yeah, that's great. And finally, Raj Gargadi is releasing on Diwali special.
Yes.
So how are you celebrating Diwali before, like when you before actors, like a student?
Honestly, nothing
child?
much has changed. You know, I am an actor in front of you guys. When I go back home, my mom's the same mom she was when I told her I wanted to become one. There's no change, and I think that kind of keeps me very rooted to who I am, and I would not change a single thing about myself with regards to how I'm treated at home. Nothing very fancy, honestly. I love lighting diyas and lights. I think that's what really appeals to me during Diwali. I dislike crackers and especially those bombs and those laddies which people release. And if I am in a position today, and if I can influence anybody, even if it's one human being watching this interview, I would say please try and have a cracker-free Diwali, because it's it's chaotic to your environment. It upsets your health, your family, your friends, or pets get petrified. Pets get petrified. There you go. Just try and have a lot of fun, but don't do anything destructive. Try and say no, and I think we owe this to our society as individuals and as human beings. We must be responsible. Other than that, enjoy yourself, have sweets, watch movies, watch Raju Gari Gadi 2, and I'm sure it'll keep everyone entertained.
Thank you so much. Advance congratulations for Raj
Thank
Gari
you.
Gadi
Thank you
too,
so
and
much.
all the best for your